at least when I'm streaming, I am normally prioritizing conversation over gameplay in most things that I am playing. Holy shit, there's a special in there. The Storm Tree, extra fast, let me move back. Lightning Enchanted. Nice. Alright, that's fine. He'll get to us in a minute. Yeah, generally speaking, like, I don't really care if I die in a game or if I lose a game or something like I literally don't care.
I can't carry anymore.
So, like, never feel worried about, like, having a talk and then, like, my character dies. I literally, it doesn't faze me. But yeah, because I'm streaming, like, I will normally be holding, like, several conversations, especially Diablo's one where I get up to, like, 9-ish conversations going at a time sometimes. So I can have a lot of, like, conversations and a lot of, like, mental distractions and, you know, especially, like, as I said, like, my Amazon was very weak. And so she would die on like one hit. She had like 500 odd health and she would be a one-hit kill in like fucking Nightmare, I think it was. Whatever. And yeah, Nightmare or fucking hell, I don't really remember. These guys, the second roots. You guys. Hit you guys up a bit, but my headset just fucking fell in a way that's not useful. Let me move back a little bit. There we go. As I said earlier, my headset for some reason is not sitting on my head properly. Like, it already is like too big for my skull, but it's not fitting. It's not fitting in a way that helps. Now, because we're in here, I want to prioritize finding the waypoint first, which is usually, here we go. Thank you. I'll take that, because that will be our starting. Oh crap, storm what? Storm shard the cold, stone skin. That's fine, we don't need mana to kill this guy. See? Yeah, so the reason why I wanted the waypoint, I wanted to find the waypoint in here. I know this area is huge, and because of that, I know that there's a very good chance I won't be able to clear that entire area entirely in 15 minutes, which is about when the end of stream will be. And so I'll clear as much as I can. I'll kill as much as I can, clear as much, pick up as much, whatever, right? But I will have to start back from that waypoint when I play it next, right? And when I do, I will have to re-clear this entire area that I'm now in, right? Because that's how this works. So, yeah. I would rather have the waypoint now and then casually clear stuff instead of like not knowing if I'm going to get the waypoint and then clearing like a bunch of stuff and not finding it and then having to start from the last area. I'll show you what I mean when I get in there, you know. Drop those two in there because they barely fit, but I only have 2 of those at the moment, so we'll have to see how we go with space because this is full up now, so I'm gonna have to probably use or sell some mana, honestly. I get my ass back in here. Alright, so there's nothing near me for the moment. So what I was talking about is, you know how before my nearest waypoint is all the way down here? So that if I didn't find the waypoint up here, I would have to start from there. I would have to re-clear my way all the way back up here. That would be optional. That spot there would be optional. But I'd have to re-clear all the way through this, kill everything, loot everything, sell it all, and then I'd have to clear all through here. Since I've got the waypoint here, I can map out and clear and kill whatever I want while I'm here, and then when I start from this location, next time I load in, I'll have to re-clear only what's in this area. So the line stops here where you walk into the zone and it changes the name of it. That's how this works for my playthrough. That's not how it works for like normal people's playthroughs, just to like emphasize that. But yeah, if that helps like clear up what the fuck I'm doing with this. I usually try to start from like the last waypoint location I've got, like the highest, like closest to where I am supposed to be, or from like in town if I've just arrived at a new act and I haven't got a waypoint yet, then I'll do that. Is it softcore right here? Yeah. You know, the funniest thing is when I started streaming Diablo 2, I had no idea that there was a softcore, hardcore fucking Diablo. I was aware that people would play in like a single life kind of mode, and I was aware that that was like hardcore, but my brain didn't compute that there was modes to playing this, because like I said, like I've made like a few good characters, but I mostly enjoy playing these two characters. And so, like, I haven't remade them before, so I've mostly been just playing them. Hold on, you're Viper Fang, and you are, I didn't get to read it. It was Viper Fang, that's all we knew. I don't know, RIP will be missed. What is it? Stream tomorrow? Yeah, I will. I'll be streaming Project Zomboid tomorrow night. So, like, I stream 10 p.m. until 2 a.m. and it's nearly 2 a.m. But like the last few weeks, last week or two, I have been late waking up and I've been late finishing stream because like I normally wake up like right before stream. And in the last week or two, I have kind of like just barely been waking up right before I'm supposed to go live. So I haven't been getting like enough sleep and whatnot. So yeah, tonight was one of those rare instances where I was on time again finally, which is nice because I used to actually be like really consistently on time. And yeah, it happens every so often. Sometimes I get like a bit worn down, a bit tired kind of thing. Like I said, like I need additional rest versus like the average person due to like medical conditions, bone injuries and crap like that. Like it kind of like hits me a little bit harder. I do need to go back to town even though I just arrived. But yeah, because I've been like working pretty solidly on like rigging and stuff, I haven't really been taking the Wednesdays to rest. Even though like initially I was taking off Wednesdays to do the rigging of my avatar. And then I wasn't being able to make enough progress in the short amount of time of a day. So I ended up prioritizing, what do you call it? I ended up prioritizing leaving it to like I had weeks off and stuff instead. And so I ended up using like the Wednesdays to rest for the most part, or like plan events or research stuff and whatever, right? So I did other stuff during the time that was productive, but yeah, it wasn't as intense at the moment pretty much since I started taking the extra days off to work on her. I think that was from March. I essentially, like, apart from like weekend days, I haven't had any additional like days off. It's been like the full 5 days a week, but it's just only a couple of those days a week have been actual streaming days, you know. And then, as I said, like I've got the case of like my neighbors are doing like renovations on one side, and my neighbors on the other side are like, I don't know, doing some kind of like crafts type stuff, like woodwork or metalwork or something like that in like what's essentially kind of like my front yard. And yeah, so it's very loud during the day when I'm trying to sleep. So I haven't been getting good sleep, which is what's also been knocking me around more, causing me to like sleep later and stuff. So yeah, but I am definitely streaming tomorrow night, for like 4 hours until this like ish time, you know. And then next week we got a big week next week. We got 5 days of Rim Connect timed by 8-hour streams. So yeah, it'll be more than double the average week of streams, which would be pretty cool. And basically, for anyone that doesn't know Rim Connect and stuff, it's the game's RimWorld, but with a browser extension that allows people to be able to like lurk in Twitch to earn silver to spawn stuff into the game, good or bad, to either help me or like make the game difficult and shit. So yeah, I definitely encourage anybody that wants to just like lurk to gain some coins, even if you've only got a minute to like use them at some point, to, you know, come hang out. Honestly though, it's only works on Twitch, so unfortunately anybody that's lurking on YouTube, you guys won't earn silver, but you guys can still be here. It's just you can't spawn in anything because you can't get the silver. It's a Twitch browser extension, so I can't do anything about it, unfortunately. I can only take one of these two and I think I'm full up. So I do have to go back into town. But yeah, next week's going to be a big one. Be going through like basically all the stages of RimWorld. So if you're not familiar with RimWorld, it'll be a good one to kind of sit through because you'll get like basically a flash course in how to RimWorld in like a 5-day thing, except with like extra shit spawning in. So it'd be like RimWorld with additional steps, essentially. I do want to keep that if I've got the space for it. I don't think I've got space in the cube, but I may have a spare town portal, perhaps. But yeah, yeah. Well, there we go. I do have an extra talent portal. I have so much mana in here, and I'm not using it at this time. I'm getting so much good mana. I just want to move that over. I have a lot of... I've got 2 of these at the moment. I got 1 of those. I know I got 2 of those. Hold on. I'm trying to move some shit into a spot where I can better see what I have. Plus I also have like a brain and an eyeball in here, so I mean that's happening. But, you know, I'm just trying to move some shit out of the way so I can see a little bit better. Let's put those there because I'll have 3 eventually, then I'll have a flail. This will let me... I want to keep this where I can see this, and I guess we can 2-stack. I don't know why I did that. I wanted it to be vertical, but I don't know, it works. So eventually I'll get up enough gems to merge those fuckers together, and I've got a spare 1 of those. So we've got 2 of them, which means 1 more and I can get that used. And we replenished our... Not quite, but we replenished 1 of the rubies. So, neat. And I'll sell off the extra mana because that's all the space I have in there, literally. So, like I said, this is going to get even harder when I eventually get items where you get to put your name on it. So it will say, like, instead of being Suburbs Kujal, it will be Tabby Cats, whatever. When I get those, they have to stay in here. I can't use the shared stash. I can't use the ground in the town to store it temporarily. Like, I could throw stuff on the ground and pick it back up. I could do that shit, but I can't store it in here and then go into, like, a battle or some shit, right? Which means that whatever size thing it is that I happen to put the name on will take up X number of spaces in here permanently. I can't sell them. I can't lose them, drop them, exchange them, whatever. None of that shit. So... yeah, that's one of those things where it's like I start to lose space. Who else is not using tomes? Nope, it's not. I didn't use tomes when I was a kid. Like, obviously, like, I briefly, like, bought one, used it, sold it, you know, how it is kind of thing, you know. But yeah, I did not use them. My belt setup, so I mostly go health, mana, town scroll. I sometimes go health, rejuvenation, mana, town scroll. Town scroll's almost always here, right? But if I get out my notes on this one, this goes 1 more combo, or a couple more combos. Hold on, I have this written down. Okay, so the standard layout is health, mana, town scroll. Difficult fight would be health, rejuvenation, town scroll, or health, rejuvenation, mana, town scroll. A boss fight would be rejuvenation, town scroll, or health, rejuvenation, health, or health, mana, health. A brute force corpse retrieval would be health, town scroll, or health. So that's my combinations. And I have this shit written down. So yeah. I also even had, when I was a kid, I even took the time to write down when I first defeated Baal in, like, normal, and for Kelly's playthrough I did also write down Nightmare defeating Baal. That is on Instagram if you want to see the photo of the writing and stuff from, like, the exact dates and shit I did it and stuff. So yeah, you're welcome to go look at that anytime. I think I've also got it in Discord as well, but, like, I don't know, I think it's probably not that hard to find in Discord, but Discord kind of, like, gets, like, content gets pushed around a little bit more. You don't find it as easily when it's, like, just an image like that. And only just say you can find it on, like, Instagram or whatever. I feel like I pulled a muscle in my neck in, like, the last minute, and I don't know how I did it. I'm, like, somewhat slightly impressed and also kind of annoyed by it because I don't know what I just did, and it's like, how should I put it? I don't know if you guys get this around the world, but you know, if you go to a doctor and they try to, like, put, like, a couple of fingers underneath, like, your jawbone kind of thing to, like, check your tonsils and shit, it's like that kind of spot, but not. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's on, like, one side, and I don't know how I've done it. I don't know. The fun of, like, streaming injuries. I'll fucking tell you about streaming injuries. I've broken my toes streaming, and Yeah. I did that during an art stream. I used to do art stream once a month on the last Wednesday of the month. I haven't done it for like over a year and stuff because, like I said, I haven't been streaming on Wednesdays because I'm rigging my avatar and stuff, right? But I normally have like my own personal playlist of music running when I do those events, and I put on my playlist, and I, you know, being my personal playlist and stuff, I really didn't think about what was in it. And so anyway, the song started playing that basically just sounded like borderline porn. And I'm like, well, shit, I better go change that. Like, as soon as it started, like, the first couple of, like, tones of music, I knew what it was. And I'm like, fuck. So I, like, ran down my house to try to, like, get to my computer to, like, change it. Except that I came off the tiles onto carpet. I somehow slid on carpet. I slid under my desk and smashed my toes into the bottom of my footstool next to my chair. I like basically face planted the chair, and yeah, I broke my toes. And I did successfully change the song. I did, however, require like an additional 15 minutes before I started that stream, and yeah, they were in fact broken. And I think I've only ever broken bones since streaming, which is wild. It's like I don't even go outside. I don't even break shit outside. I did bodybuilding level weightlifting, and like the closest I got was I chipped a toe bone doing like 400 kilo leg press like ages ago, and yet I break my fucking toes streaming an art stream because I was trying to change my music.
I can't carry
you know,
anymore.
I might not be able to carry shit. You're right. Actually, don't chuck that one in there. We're gonna need that to go out of here. Give me that. Chuck that in there, and we'll go back with this. There we go. Ew. Was it? How did that?
Good to see
Oh,
you.
no. Has it broken your toe while streaming? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't even think that's the worst thing. I don't know what else I've done. It's just one of those things that happens. Like, I also know not that specific art stream, but there was another art stream where I accidentally knocked over my glass full of energy drink into my running computer, and obviously like mid-stream and stuff, so that did a lot of damage as well. But yeah, I guess I get creative when I stream. I don't know how else to put that, you know? Yeah, accidents happen, unfortunately. More so when I'm like stationary or inside my house in the safety of my own home. I do want to merge these as well, so I'll grab them. That'll give me a tiny ounce more space, and I got a new poison resistance one, which is great because I need that. Yeah, what else? My goodness, it's okay now. Yeah, it's fine now. That was like both the computer and my toes are both fine. Like my toes do ache every so often. I'm assuming that's because, like, you know, toes are so small you can't really like set the fuckers. So yeah, they're just however they reset themselves is however they are. They look normal, so I mean they look normal for me, but they I don't know, they seem fine. I think I broke the two, like a pinky and the one next to it, and I probably fractured the one next to that. It was 3 toes, but 2 were definitely broken. And yeah, it was pretty painful. It was like several weeks of trying to keep off my foot and just let them heal, rest and shit, you know. No, the PC didn't, but ironically I do think it was actually Red Bull that got into it. But no, I had to shut off the computer like ASAP when that happened, and I had an industrial fan, luckily, so I just kind of turned it off, obviously like tipped it out, like dried it off as best I could, and turned on the industrial fan to like pump air through it to try to dry it out while I was drying it out and stuff. And then once it was obviously working again, or once it was dry, which took like about an hour, I obviously like turned it all back on and it worked and shit. So yeah, mind you, I did like a pretty solid job of cleaning it. Like, I used to work on computers, so like I know how to clean it safely and shit. But I obviously didn't have all the materials and stuff, it mostly poured into my CPU cooler, and the big fans on that kind of like threw it around the computer that way. But also, like, some of it did drip onto my graphics card, which is why my graphics card died last year. That's why I had to replace it. That's why Diablo was such a struggle last year with that, because I actually got to a point where I couldn't play it because I literally, like, you know, my graphics card just was giving up. It had physical damage, and
Good evening.
yeah, no. Oh, ow, my knuckle. I've since replaced that. I've also like cleaned it a few times since then. So, I mean, it is all good. It's all clean and whatnot. But yeah, normally speaking, I normally have a enclosed drink bottle, right, that I drink from, just water and shit. But in this specific event, because when I do art streams, I'm not a fast artist, right? So sometimes it will take me like several hours, and that particular stream was like several hours, and I know that, so I'll normally have like an energy drink during it or whatever, and a coffee or something to kind of like keep going, because like it's mostly about like, I don't know, I guess watching me draw and shitty chatting. On the art streams, like different kind of conversations don't usually get to kind of have, and because like it's nothing about a game kind of thing, so it's more people feel comfortable to kind of talk normally for the first time, because they're worried in most of the games I play that, you know, what if my person dies, what if I lose, and like realistically I don't care if I die or I lose. Like, I'm not going to be upset about it. Like, it'd be like, oh well, here we go again kind of thing. But I understand. So yeah, it always used to open the door for at least like alternate kind of conversations and stuff, different topics. But yeah, it's mostly because I don't talk as much when I am drawing. I have my music to listen to, and yeah, a lot of people like being able to hear like different musics and you know, I don't know, just relating in that kind of way as well. So yeah, I'm pretty much almost through, I think, half of this place, if not like most of it, which is wild. Because I wasn't expecting to kind of get through so much, you know. But yeah, eventually we'll have art streams again. Like, if I need to draw something for stream, I will probably do an art stream for it. Like, even if it like means canceling out like a rigging session or something like that, I'll probably do that. But I don't have anything I need to like, you know, draw at the moment, so it's fine. What else? What's the favorite song? So this is a bit of like a couple of things. Is like, if you had have asked me when I was a child what my favorite song was, I would have said The Final Countdown. But since I've gotten older, like, I've heard the ever-loving shit out of it. I still love it. It's just that there are other songs that I do like more. Like, I very much like Skitsmix Atlantis. Atlantis Deep Blue and stuff. There's also like a few in there that I like, but like I don't feel anymore like I have a singular song that I love more than anything else. There's a lot of songs that I like now. The other thing too is, while I'm rigging, I have like this 11-hour playlist that I've listened to death. And because I've been rigging for like 330 odd hours, and I spent like 150 odd hours like drawing, so I've heard the shit out of the song. And yeah, no, there's a few songs in there that I like. There's a whole bunch of like, I have multiple different playlists though, so like part of it is like I would randomize it when I was like streaming different stuff, so we'd listen to like different stuff. But yeah, no, I got a large variety of like different songs that I do like. I feel like there's one like very close to like the tip of my tongue that I feel like I can remember, but I can't remember. Like, there's a Skitsmix Freeloader one is really nice. I like quite a lot of techno, so a lot of like my interest is in like techno music kind of thing. It's like anything like techno, trance, fantasy, all that sort of stuff. I
am overburdened.
I think Raver's Fantasy might be like very close to like the tip of my tongue. It's one of those things where, like, you know when you're trying to think of something and then you can't think of it? that's what I'm getting at the moment. I can't think of what it is, but I also don't think we're going to fit a giant sword in here. I could drink a couple of things. No, we're fitting the sword. Neat. I didn't have to drink it because we would have had that. There we go. Alright.
Good
Nice.
morning.
You kind of person to sing a hummed along to songs you say something. So when I'm streaming, I do not make a sound to the music, which is funny because you guys managed to redeem a reward that I had in not this year's Billathon, but last year's Billathon, where I had to do a karaoke night. And that is horrifying because I didn't think you guys would redeem it. But that does mean that I will have to sing on stream. On the flip side, I also do have cover songs of songs that are available on like my Discord and certain places and stuff. If you can find them, go for it. But like, so there's a little bit to this. You need a little bit of information for context here. So I am a very shy person, a very quiet person. I know that that doesn't come across when I stream, but if I sat here and didn't talk at all, I don't think anybody would be that much interested in my streams and shit, right? But the thing is that, like, I have grown up pretty much my whole life being told that nobody wants to hear me talk, nobody likes my voice, like to shut up. Mostly I've been told to just be quiet. So, yeah, I was always very self-conscious about my voice. I also want to look at this in a minute, but I'll look at it in a second, okay? So when I started streaming, and I didn't start streaming in like the best place, right? And I just kind of like found like a lot of people would say, you know, I love your voice, or, you know, I love your accent and all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, thanks, kind of like mildly weirded out sort of thing. And I'm like, it was very confronting to me that people suddenly polar opposite liked my voice and liked listening to me talk and liked hearing what I had to say and shit. It was wild. It still is wild. It still is wild, right? But at the same time, like, I know when I was a kid, I know that, like, as much as I was told to shut up and not talk, I also know that when I sung and stuff, I know that, like, I was complimented on singing, and I was always, like, referenced to, oh, you know, Aprillic's got a really nice voice, she can sing really nice and stuff like that, and I'm like, that's really weird to say when, like, the opposite is, like, nobody wants to hear you speak, you know? It's very polar opposite sort of thing, so very hard to kind of, like, comprehend sort of thing. But anyway, apart from that, like, complex sort of bit, so streaming has, like, allowed me to get comfortable with not only just hearing my own voice, but understanding that people like listening to me and want to listen to me and all these sort of good positive sort of things, right? And as a part of that, at one point in time, I did just record a little snippet of a song, and I put that in Discord. One of my administrators just fucking, like, fully announced it to everybody, and I'm like, great, thanks. And I'm like, I was trying to just sneak it in amongst all the other songs, because I'm like, I don't know why, but that particular day I just felt like I wanted to share that. And I used to do, as I said, I used to have SingStar on PlayStation 2, and when we used to do, like, events, like, you know, house parties or birthday or something like that, I used to do SingStar. So I did used to do karaoke privately with close friends and family. Again, also polar opposite when people are like, get up and sing, but also shut the fuck up, you know? So it's been very, very complicated and a lot of growth on my part and understanding that, like, the world's not black and white in this context. Like, there's a lot of shit I'm unlearning, and I'm unlearning it live on stream most of the time, right? It's really weird. But yeah, I have since then recorded one more actual, like, length cover song. Fuck knows if this is any good. I don't have, like, any auto tuning or anything like that sort of stuff, so if it's nice, good, great. If it's not, I can't stand to listen to it, so it's fine. But yeah, that's, I mean, it's in Discord. I think it's on YouTube, I think. I don't know. It's somewhere. So if you guys find it and you hear it, cool. If not, don't stress about it, please. And yeah, so when I made my Billathon events, last year was the first time I did a billathon, and I was not expecting anybody to do anything. I never expect anybody to sub or to, you know, cheer bits or you know, super chat. None of that. I don't expect that from anybody. If you guys have time, you want to be here, great. If you want to chat, great. If you want to lurk, that's fine too. There's never any like obligations and shit. Like, I mostly never know who's here unless somebody is actively chatting, right? I don't see any of it. So when I did that event, I put like a bunch of things on that list, and I very quickly got humbled into learning not to put shit on that list unless I really want to do it, because I had my make an avatar and I had do a karaoke night on that same fucking list. And you guys like unlocked it. So I'm making an avatar. It's taking me a while. It's taken me more than a year at this point. But once she's complete, I will then do a karaoke night, which will be even more staggeringly confronting because I'll be making facial expressions and my avatar will make those expressions. You'll be able to see that. So when I really fucking belt out a song, you're gonna see me pull faces. And that's, I don't know if I can watch my editing for that, you know? So yeah, I will be a mixed bag of nervous wreck and excited for it, I'm sure. But that's in the future, so yeah. That's just a heads up on like what that's all about. You needed the context to like know, because it's fucking a mess. Let me just quickly check what's happening with this orb, and then I'll just check on your messages and stuff. So chance to cast level 3 Nova on striking, lightning skills not useful, teleport not useful, fireball I'm not using that, and mana not useful. Okay, I can sell it. I just wanted to have a quick look at it in case it was actually something semi-useful, you know? I also realized that I could have probably just gone to just chatting and had that whole conversation, because I am at the end of the stream night and I will go to just chatting. But as a heads up for where we are all the way up in Lower Karast, right? I've like half cleared it by the look of it. I'm pretty sure I've done roughly half. No, that's a wall. I was just like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, so we'll be starting from the waypoint in Lower Karast, and we'll be re-clearing all of this, and then I think there's sewers to go down into. I think that's in Karast. There's Lower Karast, I think Karast, and yeah, Karast Bazaar. I think there's under Karast Bazaar is sewers, and then yeah, we'll probably mostly do like 1 or 2 of these next time, because it takes a good while. The way I do it is it takes a while. But that's not going to be next week, because I'm doing the week-long Rim Connect event. That will be in like 2 weeks' time. So let me head out to just chatting. Also, she looks awesome, but this is OG Tabby Cat. This is who I'm remaking, by the way. Just like OG Kelly and Resurrected Pelly. So OG Tabby Cat, new Tabby Cat. She's looking pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with her. I just need like a better looking mask, because she's got like the bone one, but she had the you know, the face mask one instead. The bone thing looks epic. The gold looks really good too. I'm chuffed with how she's going.